on.
Good evening, everybody. Yes, we changed it to 6 o'clock just for you. Everyone, we used to do this call at 3 o'clock, and some people needed it to move to 6 p.m. So hopefully you are done with work. You're not sneaking around to get on the call. You should be off the clock and able to listen to us. So welcome to Money Mindset Mondays. And today and every Monday, we have a conversation where we combine personal development and financial development together to make sense out of life. Literally, the two go hand in hand. We hear it all the time. If you're in the self-development industry or you do any type of self-development work, you often hear that your financial blocks and why you're not attracting money, and you hear all of these types of words and languages around it. Well, this is a call that we decided to do because we actually have 50 years combined of experience on these topics. So my partner, Chris Miller, has been in the financial industry, helping people to create money that outlives them with a plan and a legacy for their life and their families for over 25 years. She has over 6,000 clients or customers, and she has not lost them a dime of their money on her watch. Myself, I've been in community development, working with people, youth, families, communities, business owners, and doing personal development for 25 years as well. So here on this call every Monday, we actually like to kick off the week by having a real conversation about our money and our life. Money mindsets. We're making sense out of life today. So what did we talk about last week? If you're new and you join this call, every month for 1 month straight, we stay on a big topic. And within the topic, we cover specific things that you can do and talk about and apply to your life. So we're coming to an end of a month worth of calls. And the topic that we've been on is what happens when you expand and your environment is shrinking, or it stays the same, but you've expanded, so it seems like it's shrinking. It's time to go, and you know it's time to go. But to have the motivation to leave, to have the motivation to stop the habit, to change something, to shift something, you got to have some things in place. So far, we have looked at having you identify where you are emotionally, financially, spiritually, physically. Like, are you done? Are you at that point where you're exhausted and you're over it and you've outgrown it? We had you identify that. After you identified it, we actually had you look at internally checking in with yourself to see, are you ready to let it go? Because sometimes we're not ready to let it go. And then our last call we did last Monday was about the letting it go process. What happens when you let it go? So today's topic, we're talking about how to manage this habit, this thing that you're constantly doing, so that you don't look up and it has managed you. So with that, we are getting this party started. I'm going to kick it off to my partner, Chris Miller, and she's going to talk to you today about what to do around managing these habits so that you don't look up and they've managed your whole life. Go for it, Chris.
Exactly. So when we were going through this process, we started and we looked at where we're at, right? Where we're at, and then where we're going, and we were going to create a money map. And during this time, we wanted to watch our habits. So Tia talked about what we were feeling, and we did in our first week, we did a journal. The journal was, we were going to keep track of our spending for a week, and then at the end of that time, we were going to add up the two columns. We're going to have one column of the things that we really need, and the other column of the discretionary. Then we came back and we added that up, and we actually found money. We found money, you guys, and we actually created this little nest egg here that we were going to take this money. And guess what we're going to do with this money? We're going to save the money. We're going to create a place for this money to live. Well, that's really difficult because it's sort of like dieting. You know, it's like, I don't really want to do this, and there's a lot of negative thoughts about it. So what we did was we created a whole energy around what did it feel like when you bought whatever that was, what was it around there that you bought, and then we took that feeling and we overlaid the feeling and we put that on top of where we're going to put that money, and we put that feeling right over it. So we use the latte as the example of the warm and fuzzy feeling that you go and you get the nutmeg latte or whatever, it's caramel, frappe, whoopie doopie. And, you know, you got that $7, $8, $10, and now you're going to take that same thing and put the same $10 over in the bank account, and we put the same feeling around that, right? Well, you know, this is a work in progress. It's not something that you just snapped right into and plug and play. You have to work it. You have to work at what that actually means. So here we are now with that feeling of where we're at. Where we're at right now is we're going to take another step into this, what the resistance is around changing the habit. Because the habits are just patterns that we've gotten into. Now we're going to get into a little bit of a step back where we're going to breathe a bit before we reach out and buy or spend, so that we can actually accumulate this fabulous future that we're creating with a healthy money. Because we're creating a happy conversation around healthy money. So it's not intimidating. It's not scary. It's not fearful. It empowers you to take back control of your money so you understand it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk to this, because really money is just energy. You can take it on a lot of levels. We're talking about money, but you can take the same thing around relationships and around money. Now we're going to take, and this is what I call a letter to your money. And this is really, really important. I want you to take this time to talk about what this is. So in the past, how have you looked at money? And we're going to take this money map and we're going to write a letter to our money. Yeah, we're going to talk to the money. How have you looked at it? Where are you at? And we're going to reframe the letter around the money. So you're going to get to choose the design for your life. And what I want you to do is write a letter around the money. Now, some people might write a letter around their money saying, I can't stand you. I'm scared of you. I'm always worried about you. Don't judge it. Just let it flow right through, because what you're going to do after you write this letter to the money, you're going to read this letter. But what I want you to do is write, Dear Money. I've always, like, my letter to my money is, I've been saving my whole life, right? Now I have a different letter around my money. Some people have a letter on their money of, I don't like you, I'm intimidated by you, I'm freaked out, I'm worried about you all the time. Whatever that is, write a letter to your money. Because, you know, Susie Orman said, if you don't feel confident in your knowledge on how your money works, you're going to hide behind the shame of it. You know, it's really important that you get beyond shame. It's just paper, dirty paper, right? So we're going to break away the illusion of what money is, right? We're going to tear back all the thoughts around it and look at it. Because when you take the shame away, that shame has stopped you from making the decisions you need to make. So it's a way of procrastination. It's a way to stay stuck in it by staying in shame or guilt or worry or doubt. So write a letter to your money and talk to your money. And then that's all I want you to do. Don't judge it. Don't worry about it. Just listen to the truth. There's absolutely no judgment around this. And after you do that, I want you to see what you're saying around it. And then we're going to wrap around this again next week when we come back again. right now, too, I have a really cool gift that I want everybody that's on here to do, is I want you to text the word plan to 38470. And you're going to get a really cool gift. You're going to get your financial growth checklist. You're going to get 25 years from what I've been blessed with and what Tia's been blessed with, wrapped in a nice little package for you. And you can download this free. And it will help you kind of check off and see, these are the things that you need to learn about. And these are the things that we're going to talk about and share with you.
Wow. This has so much value, Chris. I hope you all are really taking this in and you're actually doing the things that Chris is talking about. I've done it. I'm doing it as we actually do these calls. Everything that Chris teaches on around wealth, I do it because I didn't grow up wealthy at all. Now, I know I am wealthy. I know I deserve wealth. I know I am wealth. I know true wealth. I know true riches. However, I did not grow up with the monetary riches in a bank account. And so as I listen to Chris, I begin to apply the things that she talks about around money. And it has been helping me a lot. And also some of my friends like Matt Gill, he's tried it. He has over 2 months worth of money saved up for a rainy day now. So this stuff really works. You just got to apply it. So now let's talk about some personal development around this topic. You know, Chris said something so key when she was talking. She talked about the shame. The shame. As you're beginning to write your letter, notice what pops up for you. Because the topic today is, how do you manage your habit so that it doesn't manage you? So the shame, the denying, the not looking at it. When you don't look at something, it will eventually, but you know it's there, it will eventually catch up to you. And I'm going to branch out to say that many of you watching this actually have situations in your life where you've been ignoring it and then it catches up to you. How many of you know that? You know, if you're watching or listening to this, 1 year, 2 year, 3 months, 4 months goes by and you find yourself in this same rut. Now, this rut could be in your relationship. It could be in your finances. It could be in your health. You could have this pattern that you have going on where you've noticed every year around this same time you're doing the same thing, or every month at the end or in the middle you're running shorter on money, or you're noticing that you're kind of attracting the same type of relationships and you can't seem to get out of them, or you yourself want out because you've expanded but you don't know how to get out of it. Well, what's happening oftentimes is that we're not aware of the behaviors that are managing us. See, we have behaviors that manage us and they're deeply rooted and we're not always aware of them. Writing this letter that Chris is talking about is going to begin to open up to you some of these areas that you may not realize are laying there. Trust me, these letters that you write will be attached to your stories that around money that maybe came from childhood, that maybe came from the adults around you, that maybe came from the message of your community. I know for me, you guys, if you read my book, you know I grew up in an area that was full of gangs and survival. So people were surviving, and in survival mode, you're not paying attention to the patterns and the cycles that you're creating because you're focused on paying the bills, having money in the bank. You're focused on that feeling that you have when you have the money. If you're watching, I want you to listen to this. Have you ever noticed that when you don't have a lot of money in your account, that you actually, something about you actually feels different? Have you ever been low on funds and the same energy in the morning happens for you where you're low in energy? It's almost like the energy in your bank account matches the energy that you have. Have you noticed that pattern? If you have, then I want you to begin to identify it before it identifies you. Because what happens is if we don't pay attention and put our finger on it, it will sneak up on us. And once it has you, you'll be in that same place again where you're wanting to let it go. Oh my goodness, I want to change this. I want to be different. I want to go to another level. And all of these desires that you have to expand won't happen until you recognize some patterns of behaviors that must shift, and also that you're able to manage them so they don't manage you.
Exactly.
Because that's what's been happening. So another way that I like to say this is, are you living life, truly living life, or is life living you? No judgment. Think about it. Are you waking up every day in control of your life with a plan, managing it? Or are you waking up and just going with the flow? Do you have checklists as Chris has given you for homework? Are you paying attention to your bills, your money, what you're spending, what you're saving? If you're not paying attention to that and you're moving through life like a robot, then you're probably being managed by life and you're not managing it. The topic today is very crucial to the whole idea of expanding beyond the current situation you're in so that you don't stay stagnant in it.
Exactly.
I was guilty of doing that for years. So I hope you have found today's topic really helpful to you, and that this week you're applying some of the things we're talking about and making some sense out of life. Chris, why don't you give us a recap?
Well, you know what's really cool in what you said, how much you have in your bank account and how it affects you, but there's something that comes into that. What we're doing is we're giving everybody like a bird's eye view. We're stepping outside of ourselves and this part we're playing, right? And we get to see it outside without any emotion, because the fear of the unknown concerning people's financial future is a constant stress, and worrying about money over financial is totally incapacitating. And people feel they don't feel adequate. They don't feel like they know enough, and there's no blame because people haven't been taught about money. So you can't beat yourself up about it. But you got to empower yourself and take the time and actually do, and it seems almost silly, like, keep track of your money, right? Add up the columns, write a letter to your money. Well, why? Why? Because you're looking at what you're doing. It's the same thing of, what are you putting in your mouth every day? How is that going to affect your health 20 years from now? How does that affect your bank account? Health is wealth. The same thing is wealth is health. Healthy money, happy life. So it's a state of mind that allows you to be empowered by what you're doing. So these steps and these little tools that we're giving you are giving you the step to be empowered so that you get control over your money, or whatever it is that you're not in control of. And instead of letting the lifestyle, like all of a sudden you got a lot of money, you're going to spend a lot of money, but when the money's gone, you're still spending the money, right? So you don't live by lifestyle, because your spending habits will go off the cliff. So most people can't stick to a budget, just like most people can't stick to a diet. But we got some secrets here. They're not really secrets. They're just not talked about. So that's why we're here having this conversation with you in money mindset, so you can make sense out of life, make energy out of life, make money out of life, make love out of life, make it fabulous, right? That's what we're talking about. Again, make sure you guys, I want to tell you again, the text plan, so you get that checklist, the 38470 for your financial growth checklist, because that is, that's a lot of value. We're just giving that away to you. So it's really important that you grab a hold of that. And then remember, we're going to check on what the homework was for writing a letter to your money. and I want you to review it and not judge it, but just look at this person from a mountaintop, and you're looking at yourself going through life. Like Tia said, you're not just a robot going through your day. You're going to check it out. You're going to get elevated, and you'll be able to rise above those things that have been a problem in the past.
Yes. Oh my goodness, everyone. Is this not good stuff? I hope you're listening. I hope you're applying, and I hope you're living a healthy and wealthy life. And if you're not, you soon will be when you pay attention and do the work. So with that, Ivy, are there any questions? I forgot to tell you guys, put your questions in the chat box so that we can answer some of them. We're right at 6:20, and so we want to answer a couple of questions if we have any. Ivy, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do. Here's one question. So do we have a recap of this call, and how do we contact you for an appointment?
Very good. We do, actually. So, and that's in part of my announcement. So there's a couple of ways you stay in touch. First of all, join our Facebook. If you go into Facebook and type in Money, Mind, Sense, CENTS, Sense, type that in and join our community. That's one. The other way is we actually post these up on YouTube. We have a YouTube page under Legacy Shifters. Legacy Shifters, we also have that on YouTube, and you'll be able to actually rewatch this show and all the other shows. And to make an appointment for your strategy session, I think Ivy can give you a link to our Set More, and that way you can go in and actually create your own appointment, or Chris will reach out to you. Chris, do you want to tell them how to make an appointment with you?
Sure, absolutely. You can call our office at 951-926-4158, and our happy helper Lizzie will get on the phone with you, and we'll set up a time to chat. I work with people all over the country, and so it doesn't matter where you are. I work with everybody. I've been doing this 25 years, over 6,000 clients. No one on my watch has ever lost a dime.
Yeah.
So in any market loss. So it's pretty amazing. We do some really cool stuff. Or you can email me at Chris, K-R-I-S, at healthymoneyhappylife.com. So you got three ways. You can go to the link that Ivy's putting in the chat box. You can call our office, 951-926-4158, or email me at Chris, K-R-I-S, at healthymoneyhappylife.com.
Perfect. Any more questions, Ivy?
Actually, they're asking for the text link again, so I'm posting that one more time.
Okay.
So we text plan, that's PLAN, to this number.
Right. You're going to text the word plan. It's not case sensitive. So plan to 38470, and you'll download a free financial growth checklist. And this is my 25 years of experience and part of Tia's, because we're just cracking open a little bit for you guys. It's just a little bit, but this will give you some steps that you're going to need to see, because, people don't know what they don't know. And just because I've done this for so long is the only reason that I know. And Tia knows. So we've combined all of this to be able to empower you so you can take back control of your money, your energy, and have it serve you and empower you and bless everybody around you.
Yes. Thank you, Chris. So I'm going to just let you know that the actual free gift that you're getting, like Chris said, will combine some steps that she's giving you. You have 7 steps around your finances, and then you have some clear steps around your personal development. Ivy, any more questions? We do have time for one more.
I believe I don't have any more, but anybody have more questions, just go ahead and type it in right now.
No problem. I'm going to go ahead and give some announcements.
Hey, give some announcements, Tia.
Yes. Okay. So, mark your calendars for these events, guys. If you want more information, go to our website. LegacyShifters.com. We're going to be doing a lot of shifting. 2017 and 2018, it's all about this shift. We will be shifting our personal lives. You can watch us shift our life, and you can shift your life as well. We'll also be going off into communities, shifting lives all around the world. So, where we go in 2017, go to LegacyShifters.com. We have some events there for you. Our first event that we will be kicking off for the year is March 25th and 26th in Chicago. We have a day called Envision Day Chicago, and that is open to the public. Come on out, fly out if you want to, hang out with us in Chicago. If you live in Chicago or you have family in Chicago, tell them to come on out. We will be in the north part of Chicago at the Catalyst Ranch, March 25th and 26th. Really cool stuff. On the 25th, it is open to all adults. We will have business owners, veterans, a lot of corporations and community members joining us to envision their future. During this event, you will not just do your own personal vision plan, but we will put a money mind map behind it, a personal mind map behind it. You leave with a personal map to envision and walk through your life, not to just envision it, but to actually manifest it. And you have a plan around it when you leave. On the 26th, we invite our youth to join us to have a real live money conversation with youth in depth, bridging the gap between adults and youth with money in the conversation. That will be amazing as well. Also, on April 1st in Atlanta, we have something special for you ladies. It's a private affair. She lives a public life. This is a couture event for women of influence, professional women, business women, or maybe you're in the public eye because your husband is someone of influence and power. We're talking about the stresses that come with being in the public eye, being a public figure, being a leader. You get to take off your shoes, relax, take off your makeup, but you're going to be in a very private, beautiful place in Atlanta, Georgia. We will have private food, catering. You have a beautiful grounds that you'll be on with us. And we're going to spend a whole day talking about business, life, family, what's up with being in the public eye. We have some amazing women joining us. We're only holding 100 women for that event. Women of Influence, April 1st. Don't forget about our local events that we do in Temecula and San Diego. Chris has a number of events that she does in the Temecula area that you can go to, wineries, local libraries, where she's actually giving free education around your money and setting up free strategy calls for you. In San Diego, we do a meetup group. We have one coming up in December in the Oceanside area. You will find that information on LegacyShifters.com as well. I think I covered everything. Chris, you want to give them homework and tell them one more time about the free gift?
All right. That sounds great. Okay, you guys. So now we're going to be able to put everything in action here and recap it all. But I really want you guys to make sure that you've done the journal. You've added up both sides. You found some money. Now we're going to talk about moving the money. And I want you to write a letter to your money. I want you to write just what you feel. I hate you. I love you. Get away from me. Don't bother me. I'm worried about you. Everything that you feel. Then I want you to read this letter like it's a third person. And just look at it. Just feel the feelings that you're going through. And then next week we'll be able to open that up and talk about what we're going to do with that letter, because you're going to actually be empowered by this letter to this money, which is energy. And it's going to change the energy around the money. Then we're going to talk about a spending plan. I'm going to actually show you how to create a spending plan. And this is like building blocks, right? We're just one piece at a time. So that's our next thing. I want you guys to make sure you put money mindset on your calendar Monday night at 6 p.m. And the challenge for you is to write a letter to your money. Make sure you're doing that journal and adding those numbers up. And I post on Facebook and make sure that you let us know that you found that money. We're excited to see you next week. And we just are overwhelming. We're just full of lots of goodies to give you guys.
Thank